Hello beautiful people, this is Lynn Afros. Welcome to my channel, and today we're doing a really interesting activity. It's the harvest season. Finally, we've been waiting for this for the last 5 months. We planted at around August of 2023, and right now it's the 31st of December 2023, and we're about to harvest. This right here is a 3 acres piece of land. It's actually supposed to be 5, but we're only doing 3 acres for now, because the other part right there, if you can see it close to the trees, is not yet ready. So the proverbial journey to 1,000 miles is in the 1,000th mile, because now is the time we were all waiting for. Welcome to my channel as I take you into the nitty-gritties of what it actually takes to get that maize into your markets, into your kitchens. In Kenya, if you're from Kenya, in some parts of Africa, we really respect this product right here. It's like our staple food in Kenya. Every homestead has corn flour or maize flour, and we use it to make the most common meal in a Kenyan home called ugali. It's the 31st of December 2023, and we've had to make the hard decision to get our hands dirty while the whole world is celebrating the crossover into 2024. There's no boundaries, you know. They respect no dates. You'll sleep peacefully under the impression that everyone else is out there celebrating. Kumbe, they're busy harvesting where they didn't sow. But in life, as you can see, it's not really that dry. It could be better, it could be drier, it could be easier. But now, a large patch was already being stolen. They come and steal at the midst where you cannot easily see what they're doing, and so you have to walk around, you have to inspect regularly, because then you can know if they have already started to steal. And you know, in the village, on 31st, you expect that the thieves will come back because they want some easy cash to go get drunk. So that's why we had to make the decision to forgo our celebration, to forgo our festivities, and to get into this work that feeds the nation. We're doing our bit in feeding the nation. So now we are starting the harvesting period impromptu, because a large section was already invaded, and we must salvage the remaining crop. You do not understand how much it takes to get all this work done. On average, I will say that to plant an acre of maize takes about 40 to 50,000 Kenyan shillings. And for you to get that back and some profit, it's not easy. So you don't want anything to play around with your maize. You need to make a good productivity. The more the bags you harvest per acre, the easier it is for you to goes to waste. Get back your cash and some profit. These but now, because it's sweeter, it has. If they start stealing, then you're going to run at milk. There's a milky substance in the work was a lot, and it extended into the first of January 2024. So, and of course, can you imagine? So we're telling each other Happy New Year. So well, the chicken always find it really sweet. So there's this joke that we always make, that whatever it is you're doing on the first of the year, the cobs, these ones then you're going to do it throughout the year. If it's washing clothes, we hated washing clothes, because then you feel like you're going to wash clothes the whole year. But now in adulthood, you get to make your choices, you choose your battles. Are you going to let the maize sleep in the shamba alone? and go with all the hard work.
Stay tuned for the next video where
So
I'll
we are
take
here.
you
Unfortunately,
through a
we managed to
step-by-step
get farm
process of
hands who
all
don't mind working
that
now.
we had to do in
You
the
know, school's
farm to
about
get
to
our
open
maize
after a
ready
month
for the
full of
market.
festivities.
It's the
Who
harvest
doesn't need
season,
the extra cash? Well,
and we got to do this. Bye.
just kidding
Till
though,
the
we
next
are
time.
lucky to get these amazing people without whom we wouldn't harvest. It's a sacrifice on their side at a small fee of appreciation. Look at all this work. You obviously cannot do this alone. We were just two from our family, and all the others are farm hands that came in really handy to help us get this crop all together. And we're really grateful, we're eternally grateful for this. Now the rains were a lot. We had El Nino rains in Kenya. Look at the effect. We have a really huge portion that's now rotten, unfortunately. This January is not January right. It's been raining the whole night, and even this morning it's still drizzling. The sun is acting up when we really need it to show up and show off, but still we move with the flow. So we started with the sorting of the maize. We use all these bags or sacks that we have to purchase, another expense, and then you sort all the maize ready for the shelling. We do it at the farm because it lessens the transportation expenses. So as you've seen, the process is quite long. This is day 2. This is the 1st of January. And we still have our farm hands helping us to get together all the maize that we harvested. It's actually day. Yes, the harvesting took 2 days, and then we're now doing the shelling on day 3. So this is a bit of mechanization. My home country, Kenya, which I love dearly, is still not so mechanized when it comes to maize farming. So a lot of the work is done manually. But at least with this, we have this advantage of a tractor-driven sheller that does all this work in a really short period of time. We were done in no time, within like an hour, or was it like 45 to 1 hour minutes. We were done shelling all it's also used for chicken feed. So our maize is already shelled. We have the kernels removed from the cobs and stacked in these sacks once again. And another part of mechanization, a bit of mechanization, is in the transportation, where we're going to use this tractor to take the maize home. Not really home, but a field where we've hired for the drying process, because there's a lot of maize. It was a good harvest, I must confess, but then again the rotten maize is a lot, so that has really drained us. It has really taken us back in the rainy season. Oh my god. It's day 4. The maize got to the destination safely. It was piled in this huge tent, we call it hema, where we now using it to it's like a PVC where we use to dry the maize, but you have to spread it out so that every grain gets exposed to the sun. And then the maize was not really fully dried from the shamba or the garden, so this is a critical moment. It's in the handling the maize that we sometimes get losses that we didn't anticipate, because the maize is a lot. The weather is not weathering. The sun is there just mildly, not a lot. If the sun was out like it's supposed to be in January, then this process will take like about 2 days. But now, because the sun is just acting up, going to take longer. It actually took around 5 more days to air dry the maize. The maize was really clean from the garden, from the shamba. When we harvested it, at this point it's really clean. But now the rain was a lot, and I must admit that the harvest was not really the best produce we've had in the seasons that we've been farming maize, because it was hard for us to get all the moisture content out of the maize in time for it to not turn color. But the flour itself is good, only that the color was not that perfect white that's desired in the market, unfortunately. So read losses. One lucky thing that we had was a huge ground for drying the maize, and then we had a lot of tents to air dry the maize with. Some help, because this is a lot of work actually. But now when you're spreading it, it's not such a bad, or it's not so hectic. But let me tell you, when the rain is about to come and you need to get this maize back into the stack, that's where now the real test comes in. It's a rush, and definitely there's no going home at this point, because you have to stay around. The weather can change at any time. I don't know why this year is so different from the other years. In January we usually know it's a dry month, very dry and dusty. This one is wet, rainy, moody, gloomy, so unlike the other January that we've experienced before. In part, we're enjoying the rains because we have vegetables, we have better vegetation because it's all green all around. But at this one point, we really needed the sun. It didn't show up as expected. So we're done with the airing. This is a lot of tents that we have here, using them to air dry our maize. Ready for the market soon. See how thinly it's spread out until you can see the surface of the tent or PVC. If we had enough sun, then it could take about 2 days and then it's ready and dry. And ready for the market. The cash is about to come in, but this time the weather was not on our side. We stayed here for about 5 days. You know the way you stay at one point until the neighbors and everyone on the road now starts to ask you, is it not yet ready? Are you still going? You still here? Barabara inakuzoea. That's what we say in Swahili. Tired is the word. Please, whenever you see us in the market selling our produce, just buy. This process is a whole lot of hectic. The challenges, okay, not all the time. Like the previous harvest were really good. The sun was doing its thing, and it could take just a few days, and then
na nimewashika video, watu wataenda wakatae kununua mahindi wasema watu hata walikuwa wanakanyaga na viatu.
Only that now the weather was not weathering.
hata mchele
Okay,
wanakanyagaka
enough
na
of that.
viatu.
I realize I'm sounding so negative. This is 3 out of 25 acres, so we have a lot to go through before the harvest season is over, and we pray that all goes well. Now this is what it takes to put the maize back together. So imagine all this rains and you need to start weather cover the maize because all of them can, but it will take a lot of labor and that will increase your expense. And then again, we have so we still keep it all the way through. So this is it. Are you a farmer out there? You can do this thing. It's today is the 15th of January, Tuesday. Probably they are a milk food that we have not harvested today in the family because we're not doing this again. But we're hoping that the rains reduce much sooner than it's been predicted by the weatherman. So you see, this is how we cover the maize to ensure that the water does not get in. It's, I could say, 90% waterproof. So you know what that means. A bit of the water gets into the maize produce. And that's where the problem now starts. That's where the rain starts beating us. Because all these peppers are really nice, they do their job, but there's a lot of water in the ground and sometimes a little bit of it seeps through, and that takes you back a lot. Thank you so much for watching this far. That bit of the maize is already in the market and sold, and we're going back to get more maize. If you want to make an order, please do. You can contact me here, and we're going to get the maize to your doorstep at a small fee, especially if you're in Kenya. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and comment.